you're the one that said to me, stop thinking in hours. Stop thinking in hours and start thinking in impact. And so these are some of the Shameca isms that roll around in my head. That helped a lot. And I am so grateful for that.
Had a super successful win, and we're going to talk about all of that. But first, can you introduce yourself to everybody? Tell them who you are and how you serve people in the world.
Sure. My name is Randi Radul, and I am an executive leadership coach. I got into the coaching world about 12 years ago after a successful corporate career as an accountant. And today I build high-performing leadership teams in the corporate world and run leadership development programs inside of organizations.
I love this. And I love that you introduce yourself in that way, because we were just having this conversation behind the scenes. People always come into my world and they're like, well, I work with corporations and does this work for them? And so this conversation is going to be super powerful for those of you who work with large organizations, corporations, do development and training for them. I want to talk about your journey with this community. How long have you been in my world, in Power Player Nation, and what has that journey been like for you?
Okay, I think we first met in January 2020, and I was just thinking about the date. So we met at January 2020, and I heard you speak at a retreat and started following you on Facebook. I think it wasn't until March 2021 when I realized how I could slip into your world, and that was through sales school initially. So that was March 2021. Sales school was phenomenal in terms of teaching me the skills that I felt I needed. I said I came from the corporate world and I was an accountant, and I have a lot of business experience in accounting and IT implementations and just corporate life for 17 years. And then, of course, I was developing as a coach for a number of years, and so developed some of the coaching skills. But the skill set that I didn't have was business development and sales. Mm-hmm. And so I was looking for mentorship in that area. So sales school seemed like a nice place to dip my toe in. And I loved the monthly challenges that helped me to get some momentum pretty quickly. So that was March 2021. July 2021, I started Play Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, Play Big. Play Big is, it's an experience. It is, I think you describe it as a program that puts the right amount of pressure on you to get you to rise up.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that 90-day container where I felt my confidence popped in a new way. That's the way I'd like to talk about it. I feel like I'm a confident person, but I just became more confident during that time.
I always call Play Big a pressure cooker, and I think sometimes it scares people, but it's designed to have you have heightened awareness about the big blocks that you're having that are stopping you from taking bold action, ways of thinking, ways of behaving that may be getting in the way of you actually creating the results that are possible for you. And I know during that first journey and that first round of Play Big, there was a little bit of stuckness for you that you were able to move through. Do you remember that? Can you talk about what came up for you and what was able to pop open for you while you were in that container?
I got this goosebumps all over my whole body thinking about that, because I'll tell you what I do remember. Maybe you remember it differently and you can pepper it in the commentary, but what I remember is a lot of stuckness is a good way to say it. So there's a lot of accountability in Play Big, and that's part of what puts the pressure on. And I just felt like I was hiding, and I didn't feel like I was hiding. I just felt like I was stuck. You told me I was hiding. And there was a lot of moving through fear of do the assignment, create the product, whether it be a post or a proposal or something, and press send. And just that accountability of knowing that the team was watching me and knowing if I met my commitment. And accountability is everything for me. So I really just remember being called out, and I remember you saying to me, I know there's more in here. Show it. Stop hiding. And so I just kept doing the process. And over time, I often say that confidence isn't built before you do the thing. It comes after you do the thing. Yeah. And I know other people in the coaching space say that as well. And it's so true. I needed that community. I needed your push to really just stay accountable to the process, and the result on the other side I think was reflected back to me before I really felt it. So again, after you do the thing, the confidence comes, and people were commenting me. They were DMing me saying, "What's happened to you? You are showing up so much differently." And so that was the first play big pressure cooker.
I love it. I always tell people that there is this flip of a switch that happens with my clients when they're doing this work and they get it. And you're a person who really demonstrates that well in your own life because there was a way that you were showing up. It was pretty corporately in your social
Yeah.
role and very just like rigid and stiff, right? And it wasn't all you. And so now when I see you owning your expertise, I see you showing up powerfully as a leader in your space, not just a person that people can hire to do corporate training. And people are recognizing you for that. One of the other things we were looking at was your offers. So we're talking a lot about offers this month inside of the communities because I feel like one of the baseline things that you need to have in place in order to have a really successful business, to build a multi-million-dollar business, is an offer, a high-end offer, an offer that can create $1 million without you killing yourself. And I know there was a little bit of a struggle there with your pricing and all of those things. So do you mind just sharing your journey with that and where you are with it now?
There thought that the best solution for leadership teams was always a custom solution. And so when asked about packages or offers, I was always, what problem do you need to solve? That was my approach. Instead of having an offer that I could offer to potential clients. And so it was in our momentum session before Play Big where I really started to think about packaging my offers. And after, it was 8 years in the business, I started to look back and think I offer the same thing to most clients. And it made sense to package it. And it made it so funny that my dog just jumped up here after the table. Oh, so dogs are like kids. They just know when you're on the phone or in a meeting. And then all of a sudden they want your attention. So it made sense to package the offer and it helped me in ways that I didn't necessarily appreciate. So when you have an offer, you have a greater ability to see the total value of the package, which can actually help you to price it more attractively. It also makes you seem, I feel like it's made me seem more pro, to be honest, to have these different level offers. And then the piece that I wasn't expecting that has really helped me is having an offer and I have 3 levels of offers at your recommendation. It's helped me to organize my calendar and my life so much better because I have my head wrapped around my body of work in a new way. And even putting some of the systems in place that you've helped me to see and realize has helped me with that as well, because I have only certain days for certain offers. And so now, as I'm scaling my business, I see how I can do it without breaking myself.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit more about the offer piece because these questions come up quite often. People say, all of my clients need different things. They want a different transformation. And so I have to customize it when they come in. I don't know what I'm going to offer. So it makes it difficult for me to choose a thing and then just put a price tag on it. How did you move through that thought process of thinking you needed to customize for every customer that came in?
Part of it was experience. So part of it was having those 8 years under my belt and knowing that everybody at least starts in the same position and usually gets the same next 3 steps. Sometimes they're in different orders, but that doesn't really matter. And so that helped, that experience of knowing what I had provided in the past, but also just the flexibility to know that this is my offer. And yeah, it gets customized a little bit for each client. And that's okay. But here's the backbone. And so that again just helped me to put parameters around it for myself to help me manage. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. And
Multi-level.
yeah, you were talking about like time blocking days. And I don't think people think about this. Like if you do an intensive with me, those only get booked on Wednesdays. And so I think some of the chaos that people feel that stops them from building higher levels of income because internally and subconsciously, unconsciously, you feel overwhelmed because you feel like you're all over the place in scatterbrain is not having this system of understanding. Like I only coach clients on this day. I do sales calls on this day. I only do intensives on this day. And when somebody clicks that link for that calendar to book, that's the only thing they're going to be offered. It's not going to be, can I do it on a Sunday, a Saturday, or at 8 o'clock at night? How has that helped you to be able to generate more and more income and feel more spaciousness in your business?
One of the ways it's helped me is I used to feel like I had to be flexible in order to be a good practitioner. I was always in service of the client. And so I had to be flexible. But in fact, having that structure again makes me reflect the professional that I am. Not able to just flex my schedule and show up at any time for any client. So that helps it with that piece. But also I have times blocked for individual clients, and those positions are scarce now. I used to think I had a lot of room for that.
That's what I
And
can,
I
I
don't.
can have 50 clients at one time.
Oh, no, there's a coveted few spots for individual work. And then I have a day with a leveraged program, so for groups, and then I have 2 days for corporate workshops, and then my final day is my dynasty day. And so there isn't a lot of time, but I can see where the leverage comes from. The leverage comes on Tuesday afternoons when I run my leverage program, right? And my corporate work, where I love to go in person to corporate clients, is Wednesdays and Thursdays are my workshop days. Mondays are my individual coaching days. And so it's helped me to organize my life and to see where the levers are to generate more and more income.
This makes my heart happy listening to you talk about you blocked your days. Because here's what I realized for myself, and I don't know if this is true for you. When I wasn't blocked in that way, when I thought I needed to have all space available for all things and do it whenever the money would come, like whenever somebody wanted to, that's when I made less money in my business. For me, that's when I struggled the most. And I've actually made more money by having smaller amounts of time available for things than I had by having all time available for any and everything, including the marketing of my business.
Yeah, and it feels really good. It feels really good. And so time that I thought was available for individual clients, for example, is a lot more scarce. And my time blocking, wait until you hear what I do with my mornings, because I remember you saying that you take a few hours each morning to get your mindset right. And I used to think that's a lot of time, but I'm taking that time now. And it never make a difference.
It pays off though. So tell us about
Absolutely.
your mindset routine. I know I've talked about mine. Mine is fluid. It's based on fueling myself and giving myself whatever I need in that time frame. And I don't start my day until I feel ready. And I'm typically ready by 10 a.m. That's when I start my day. So can you talk to me about what your daily routine looks like as far as mindset is concerned? Before she answers, I want to say this to everybody listening. This is not a write it down and do exactly what Randi does because it's going to get me that result. And that's the mistake people make with mindset work. We're all in a different place and you got to find what works for you. But growing yourself mentally is a huge part of growing your bank account. With that said, shoot, Randi.
Okay. I've been on a mindset journey for many years and I've had many different practices. And so I love that you said you do what you need on any given day, and you know that you have a toolkit to pull from. And so that is similar to what I've been doing, except with a few exceptions. So one of the things that I love about working with you is the high accountability. And sometimes when I hit a low point in energy, I want to know that I have a system to go back to. So right now, since January, I have a system in the morning. And it includes getting up and feeding the dog and making myself a cup of tea, but it includes meditation. It includes looking at my vision, my 90-day vision, and I believe rewriting my 90-day vision and rereading my 100 or my year-long vision. I'm doing that consistently, and some exercising, which is really powerful for my mindset and just to help me manage my excitement and nervous energy. So sometimes, and this is where it's fluid. Sometimes it's weightlifting because I really want to get that ego pump, and sometimes it's yoga, and because I need to calm my nervous system, and I can really feel the difference depending on what I need in each day. And throughout the day, when I catch myself with idle time, either I shouldn't even say idle time, like if I'm going to go for a walk or if I'm making lunch, I throw on your affirmation CDs, not CDs. Why did I just say CDs?
Don't tell anybody that we know what you are.
I know. I'm dating myself here. I listen to those affirmations and I wholeheartedly believe that they are shifting the gears. It's pretty amazing some of the things that are showing up in my life based on those affirmations. I've been not as consistent with the sleeping ones because I find it hard to wear these while sleeping, but I have to come up with one other solution. I heard about headband because I think that's powerful as well. And I know that these subconscious exercises are really powerful.
It's so funny. When I sleep at night, I can't wear ear things or the headband or earmuffs. I can't do anything. So I just made a decision years ago that my whole house was going to be transformed. And the truth is that my husband's sales increased dramatically from listening to my nighttime affirmations at nighttime. If you're willing to go for it, you could just play it out loud and see what happens, see how your household transforms. I have a couple of questions. Are you done with that? Is there anything else that's a part
I
of
just want to say one thing about the mindset piece. It's a practice. It's a practice, and anything, consistency pays off. I think I shared with you in an NLA call a couple of weeks ago that I felt like my ability to really visualize my vision rose to a new level since this consistent practice. I am feeling like I can really embody that state in my visualizations in a new way. And it was like I unlocked a new level. So that's really cool. And I think it just came with the practice. It came with the consistency. So it's a journey. Just start on the journey.
I love it. And I want to talk about your results, but before we do that, I know that you started in sales school. I love how you said you found a way to slip into my world. I think I did look up one day and I was like, hey, Randy, just seeing you on a call, which was sales school. You did play big. And now you're part of the mastermind, which at this time is called Next Level Authority. This is your second year in Next Level Authority. And I'm bringing that up for a reason. A lot of people see the fast results that people can create in my world. And there's this desire to want it all to happen now. Like they want to join one of the programs and then be $1 million business in 6 months. And what I know is that the people who are willing to do this continual work of peeling layers and learning and having this heightened awareness of them are the ones who create incredible results in their own timing, whatever that looks like. And so when you look at all the programs you've been in, what do you love most about the program as a community, and why do you think it's worked so well for you?
So what I love most, okay, so sales school, played big, then NLA, and then a couple of rounds of play big within NLA, which took me to the next level as well. I love the community. I find that as a solopreneur, my energy, I feel like it needs to be up here all the time, but the reality is it's not, right? You saw me in the fall, I dipped, and I don't know what I would have done without the community and the accountability and the fact that there's systems inside that accountability or inside the community with accountability that has us understand what our bare minimum is. So even though I was dipping, and those of you inside the community knew my energy was dipping and I was struggling to get it back up, I was still showing up. I was still showing up externally, and I was showing up in a way that I felt was meaningful because I was following your process.
Yeah.
And so that helped a lot. And I am so grateful for that because I probably would have just slipped away for a while. And in business, if you slip away for a while, you've got to get all that momentum back.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's tough. So I've really enjoyed the community aspect. I've enjoyed the accountability, but let's not diminish just the tangible teaching, the business development strategies, the sales skills, the actual skill building that happens as well when you're willing to work the process.
Beautiful. So let's talk about those results. I'm really super excited for you. And I just want you to share, and I want to celebrate you right now. So what have been your results from implementing what we teach inside of our programs?
I can think about a few highlights. When I tend to have these big audacious goals. And so the first time I hit play big, I thought I'm going to make 6 figures in 90 days. And I did not. And then I thought I am not going through play big without getting my face on that wall. And so the next time I went through play big, I think I did, right? It was the second time.
You did. You're up there.
And it was right down to the wire. I had $106,000 right on the last day of play big. But it was the consistency. So that at that point, I think I was making about $100,000 in a 6 month time frame, and so I collapsed the time to the 90 days, which was amazing. And so That was last year. Now this year, same time frame. You just started Play Big last week. I've already closed $96,000 in sales this year.
So this is so funny because we kick off this case study. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this case study. What are the stats you want me to focus on? And she gives me this thing, and she's like, I just did $45,000 in a week. And then yesterday, there's a post that goes up in the group. I see it this morning, and I'm like, holy crap! Randy is at $96,000. And I love that you wrote in the first 45 days of the year. And so I want to celebrate you for that.
No, I mean, that's deep, folks.
But also, I want to celebrate you because it's actually faster than that. That
Yeah.
you give yourself credit for. But you actually did $96,000 in the last couple of weeks. Maybe 3 weeks if we stretch it out, but I think it's been about 2 weeks. And that time collapse from going from 6 figures in a year.
No, 6 months. 6 figures in 6 months to 6 figures in 90 days.
In 90 days.
Yeah.
The 6 figures in 2 weeks. You bet your bottom dollar everything you're doing is working.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited for you because that means the sky is absolutely the limit.
I love that. Absolutely. And the deal that closed, actually, it was this morning that I posted in that group. That's just the first part of it.
So
there's a second part that's going to close in the next, it's going to close in the next probably 2 months. But yeah, it's the packaging your offer. And so it's amazing.
Yeah. So I want to say this because that was a high dollar sale and there's more to come. So she's talking about packaging and we're talking about offers this month a lot. I think I did a Q&A on how to package a high-end offer. And the one that you just sold that you posted about this morning was a $54,000 sale. And there's still more left to come later. And in my community, we don't count sales until we have cash. So this is not a fake, like I put an offer in and it's $54,000. This is a done deal, which is why she's not counting the rest. But I know there is a process to getting comfortable with putting a price tag on what you do, especially for you. What you do comes easy to you. Like you're a genius at the work that you do. And it's easy to go in there and go, oh, the workshop, and I'm just going to do this and that, and it'll be fine. And let's just 10K. Talk about shifting to be able to charge more for the work that you do.
I can't remember when you said it, but it was, we should charge the most for the thing that's easiest for us to do. And that really stuck with me because the thing that's easiest for us to do is what we're here to do. Yeah. And so I started to get clear on what was easiest for me to do and then just look at value-based pricing instead of hour. You're the one that said to me, stop thinking in hours. Stop thinking in hours and start thinking in impact. And so these are some of the Shameca isms that roll around in my head. And so packaging and looking at value-based pricing really helps to elevate and understand how your clients are going to benefit from the work that you do to get together. Stop thinking about it like a transaction. You're delivering the goods and you are the best at delivering those goods. So you need to make sure that your clients feel that and see that in your messaging, in your proposal, in your delivery, and your pricing.
Beautifully stated. When you look at how your life has changed on a personal level, how has all of this impacted you personally and how you live your life today?
I have improved my ability to disconnect. It gives my batteries real time to recharge because I have time blocking, because I have packages, because I have systems that work while I sleep, although I need to do more work there, but it's happening. And I have minimum daily commitments that is huge. And there's one piece that I don't know if we ever talked about. I know, and we talked about it on the day you told me to do it, but I don't know if we talked about the impact of it. So one day we were talking about minimum daily commitments and you said to me, just read 10 pages. Don't think, oh, I'm on a roll, I'm going to keep reading. Stop at 10. And it was so impactful because I realized how much I have energy leaked in just trying to do so much all the time instead of just doing the minimum and stopping. We don't have to do
Right.
3 hours of reading. 10 days gives you, or 10 minutes or 10 pages gives you what you need. Just
Yes.
stick to your time block. And just the momentum that's created from plugging up that energy leak has been amazing.
That's so much wisdom in that. And I love that you called it an energy leak because we think because we don't have the thing or because we want the knowledge or the wisdom that we should go over it. I have the energy now, let me just do it. But what happens over time, if you compound that, there comes a stopping point. There comes a point where you don't do any pages because you're exhausted. But if you just do the 10 and the 10 and the 10 and the 10 and the 10, you finish and you compound and you create momentum, which is the same thing we do with the content strategies that we use. We're not, let's spray all over the place. I'm going to do 365 days of live streams, 30 days of reels, just running around like crazy and then getting exhausted and going, I had to take a break and pull back from my business. Just what am I committed to doing all the time without fail so that I can be impeccable with my word to myself and continually show up no matter what's happening in my life? What can I commit to? That's so beautiful. I'm glad you brought that up. Question. I want to give you a chance to share like any words of wisdom that you feel like you want to share. And then I also want to ask you to have a conversation with anybody who has been lurking around my world, who's looking for mentorship and support, but hasn't pulled the trigger yet. What would you say to them as well? So give us your words of wisdom and then have that private conversation with people who are like on the fence, not quite sure. Maybe they invest in other things and been burned. Who knows what the story is? What would you say?
Okay. So first, words of wisdom. Small, consistent action always. So speaking to the 10 pages, it's the same with fitness. It's the same with drinking your water. It's the same with reaching out to clients, prospective clients, or making offers. Just pick 3 offers you're going to make a week or whatever it is, but honor your word, because your word to yourself, because it really does help you to build confidence, momentum, and consistency that pays. So that's one of my big lessons. It's a simple one, but man, is it hard to implement and stay consistent. So you're worth it. You're worth a small, consistent actions, is what I would say is words of wisdom. For those that are lurking around the Shameca community, maybe you're in the general group. I think my number one piece of advice would be to get started. There's something here for everyone. There's something here for every price point, I think is fair to say. Sales school is really accessible. And again, if you consistently participate in sales school, there's so many resources that you're going to get results really quickly. And that's going to make back your investment quickly, but also build your confidence in your community and your skills around business development and selling. So I think you just have to get started. And there's, like I said, there's an entry point for everyone to get into this community and into this world.
Beautiful. I want to do a quick invitation to you all. And Randy, I want you to just think of one more last thing that you want to say to wrap everything up. So 2 invitations, actually. It's 2 in 1. So the first one is this. We've been talking about offers. We just did the high-end messaging intensive last Saturday. It was powerful and incredible. And no one teaches messaging like I teach messaging. I don't care where you go. No one teaches it like I teach it. So you will be transformed. Your messaging will be transformed on a cellular DNA level, not just in your head. And so that was beautiful. And there'll be another one that comes around. We have been thinking about packaging it in a program. We haven't done it yet. But there is another intensive coming up because I realized that in a lot of the work that I do, I'm doing mentoring, but I don't necessarily help you build an offer. And so we're going to do a high-end offer intensive. We're calling it the $1 million offer intensive because once you get your offers right, that's when you can really get on track to make $1 million. That intensive will be coming up in April. And we're going to do some special investment levels for those people who want to jump in on that intensive right away. So if you are interested in the high-end offer intensive, what I want you to do is type level up in the comment section. And what that will do is activate myself and my team, my Slay Squad, to reach out to you. And we're going to first do an offer analysis with you. So we'll jump on a quick call and we'll do an offer analysis. It's going to be about 20 minutes long. We'll review your audience, your offer, your messaging. We're going to identify what's possible for you in the next 3 to 12 months. We're going to look at the number one bottleneck in your business that's stopping you from attracting higher end clients. We want you to sell at $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. We want you to know how to do that. We want you to get to $50,000 and $100,000 per month. Like Randi is well on her way to doing $100,000 this month, and I'm super excited for her. And it's not that she hasn't done that before, but just the beauty of the ease and being able to do it in a couple of weeks is really powerful. Watching her collapse time around that 6 figures. We're going to help you develop a 3-step action plan that will help you get more high-end clients into your business ASAP. So whether you're working with us in our next level community in Power Player Nation some way, somehow, or you just want to attend and learn more information about that high-end offer intensive, this would be the best next step for you. So just type level up, we'll reach out to you, and then we'll take the next steps and see what's there. One thing I want to share is nothing about what I ever do, how I sell, whether I'm selling on a stage or I'm selling like this, is ever high pressure, because I only roll with people who are ready to roll. And so if you feel connected to this community and my work, and you know that I'm your person, yeah, I watch Grey's Anatomy. Yes, if you know that I'm your person, like Christina and Meredith, then take that step. I don't think the opportunity would be in front of you. And then I will be honest with you about what's next for you and where's the best place for you to fit in. And if that means staying here and not making an investment yet, I will tell you that. Or if I need to refer you somewhere else, I will tell you that as well. Because there is a certain level that you want to be at before you start working with me. And so I'm really open and honest about what that positioning is. So level up is what you want to type. I'm going to throw it back to you, Randi, one last time. What do you want to say?
So what I'm excited to say is I am so excited to see you in person next week. It's already next week. That's one of my favorite parts of the community, is getting together in person and a beautiful location.
I'm excited to see you too. I love being heart to heart in the room with people. And so it's one of my favorite pieces of everything that I do, is to be able to be in spaces with people. So excited.
And that continuous contact with the team, the group of us, and all of the learning and reflection and planning that we do, it's truly transformational.
Yeah. I want to tell you, thank you so much for being here and sharing your journey and your wisdom and letting people in on what you were creating and how that looked for you along the way. And I want to celebrate you, because I've been here and watching you and transform, and to see where you are right now, knowing that this is just the baseline foundation, the floor of what you're creating, is so powerful, because there's going to be so many lives that are transformed by the work that you do. So thank you so much for being here. And if we could give it up for Randi one more time and celebrate the heck out of her, because she just closed $96,000 in a couple of weeks. You go, girl. Woo!
Do I have anything else? Oh, I have a clapper. Look at that.
I'm tired. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next time. Have an incredible day. Thank you so much for watching my show, my channel. Here's what I want you to do. If you really love what you've been listening to, I want you to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. No, really, leave a comment. Like right now. I'm not going to